all of you to today's another exciting episode on Nithyananda TV. I am Sri Nitya Brahma Sukhananda Maharaj.
And I'm Sri Nithyananda Maharaj.
Yes, and yes, Nithyananda Maharaj. And we are today going to talk about hacking.
Yes, hacking. What hacking, Maharaj? Isn't it illegal?
Well, I'm not talking about that hacking, Maharaj. I'm not talking about hacking into websites or personal computers and stuff like that. No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about hacking into the very code of our existence, of our being, of the cosmos itself.
Okay, yes. Yes, the Supreme Pontiff has given beautiful revelations on understanding what is our true nature and finding out that we are Paramashiva.
Yes.
And the truth that we are going to explore today is Brahmavid Brahmeva Bhavati. Knowledge about the cosmos makes us experience oneness with the cosmos. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given a very in-depth understanding about this.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely, Maharaj. In fact, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has said, he's made this declaration that anyone who knows Brahman, the cosmos, becomes one with it, becomes one with the cosmos. The knowledge of cosmos itself is enough to make us experience the oneness with cosmos. And he says that knowledge about the cosmos is absolutely mandatory and it is useful as well. So it is mandatory for us to know the ultimate reality, for us to experience the oneness with it, and it has a direct utility value in our life. That is the whole purpose of this video today, of bringing this message out to all the viewers out there in the world who are watching us. Hacking into our very source code of our life, the code with which our life functions, can only be possible because we want to experience, right? We want to experience the best things in life. We want to experience, as we were talking about yesterday, we want to become the perfect hero of our own life and for the people around us, right? And we want to manifest the best things in health, in wealth, in relationships, career, anything, outer world success, anything, inner fulfillment. But for that, we are always trying to really figure out what life is all about so that we can crack the code and really get the results we want to do. So what is this code of life which we have to hack and which we want to crack in order for us to get the results, right? This code is nothing but the ultimate truth that we are consciousness. Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati is reaffirming this truth again and again, that just by knowing this source code is enough for us to experience oneness with the cosmos and actually play with the rules, play with the code and master it to achieve the reality, to manifest the reality that we want to manifest.
Yes, Maharaj. And this is something that is even there in our Puranas. When it comes to the story of Prahlada, one of the greatest incarnations, one of the greatest devotees of Parandhama, Narayana, he was listening to Narada Muni tell his mother about the significance of the Narayana mantra and the powerfulness and the whole truths of the cosmos while he was inside the mother's womb itself.
Wow.
And it is like how Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will tell us, like, if we have never been to the city of Kashi, and he says that the Kashi city is beautiful, it has ghats and it has beautiful golden temples and it has the Ganga. All of these things, when the Supreme Pontiff tells us, only when we go there, we'll realize, I remember the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has initiated me, has told me about this. And in the same way, whatever the truths that he reveals about our consciousness right now, whatever he's going to bring out and whatever he brings out and shares with us, all of those we will remember when we had once experienced the cosmos. When we
exactly.
Cosmos,
just like Prahlada, he listened to these sacred truths while he was in the mother's womb itself from Narada Muni, right? All those truths remained as a part of his muscle memory, his bio memory, right? So that the same truths which he once listened very passively, right? He was just in his mother's womb. He was not paying active attention, but just by listening to those words, those same words popped up and helped him, cruise along the life's journey. Anytime he faced the problems, he used directly those words would pop up and help him. And that's the significance of even listening, of attentive listening and integrated listening to these great truths. Just by listening, they will help us exactly when we need them, exactly where we need them in our life, and make us win the game of life.
Yes, and when Prahlada, it was in his mother's womb he came. But then when he came out and he started living his life and he had started asking questions, he had many things to ask. His Acharya would keep on asking him, what is the, he would ask questions and learn from the Acharya. But then at the end of his education, he told, there is one thing you didn't teach me, Acharya, because his father ensured that that the cosmic truth, that there is Narayana, that you are in oneness with, you can learn about Narayana, you can learn about Mahavishnu, that his father cunningly told the teacher not to teach Prahlada. And with Prahlada, but came up with it on his own. It is because he had that integrated listening when he was in the womb itself. He listened to the truths of the cosmos, and when he imbibed them, and he was born and lived his life, all of his knowledge culminated to just realizing this one truth. And he taught this Upadesam, he gave it to his teacher. He taught his teacher the Narayana. So that is how Prahlada came.
Exactly. And many people might have this doubt. How is this possible? Is this really true? How can a baby in the mother's womb listen to all this? And actually these same things, same words will pop up. See, people don't really understand the depths of Hinduism, the science, the ultimate cosmic science that Hinduism is, especially when it comes to the words from an enlightened being, in this case, Narada Muni, for example. Directly, those words have an impact on your muscle memory and biomemory. You just don't hear or listen to these words with your ears. With your being, when you listen, directly they impact, directly they go and impact and touch our very being and manifest directly into our muscle memory, into our biomemory, right? That's exactly what happens when we sit in the darshan and listen to the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who himself is the Paramavatara, the living manifestation, the ultimate manifestation of Paramashiva today for the people of the modern world, right? He has come and he has descended to give the superconscious breakthrough. Just by his words alone, he can initiate you. Just by his look, his glimpse alone, he can initiate you and make you manifest the best in life. That's what the whole significance is. Just by being in that attentive listening and being in the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, all these great truths can simply be downloaded in your muscle memory and biomemory. And whenever you have any situation, you face any situation in life, when you face any problem or you're going through some trouble, any crisis, these truths will simply pop up. That is the whole power of the initiation of an enlightened being, in this case, the incarnation himself. And that's why again and again I tell you, he has made himself available to the entire world free of cost. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is offering, he's gifting the greatest experience to every being on this world as a MahaParamashivoham program, making it free of cost, making himself available for free, absolutely free. In fact, the darshan is going to begin. The MahaParamashivoham program is happening right now. It's running right now. And the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going to start just in a couple of hours. So we urge you, we request you, to all of you, to sign up for MahaParamashivoham program. The phone number, the WhatsApp number is projected at the bottom of your screen. So right now, just message us and we will get back to you as soon as possible. You can fill the registration form and you will get the link, and directly you can enter into the MahaParamashivoham program and prepare for the ultimate happening in your life, that is receiving the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, which is going to start very soon. Just in a couple of hours, we are waiting for the darshan to happen, as today Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is gracing us in the Bhava Samadhi of Gangadharamurti, various forms of Paramashiva. He expresses himself all throughout the MahaParamashivoham in various different dimensions, giving all kinds of boons, powers, making us manifest powers of all kinds, and making us experience that complete completion from within. And that is the power of just being in the attentive listening and this receptive space in front of the Guru, right? So that's what the theme of today's topic is. Just knowing, just being in the perfect listening, that is the receptive space to the words of the enlightened master, to our Guru. Whatever he reveals, the source code of the cosmos that is revealed by the Guru, simply by listening to that, you will get liberated. That is the whole power, right? Even he says that knowledge about the cosmos does not necessarily demand your faith or belief. It's a very important thing, Maharaj, right? The difference between Hinduism and other religions, it is not belief based. You can
it is actually that we are just discussing. It is only that it is that it demands your integrated listening. And if you have whatever, and it is not like we don't have integrated listening. It's not integrated. We just have listening to something else in a life. It is not integrated towards us realizing our true nature. It is not gravitating towards us coming from the higher understanding about ourselves. He says that when you leave the body, the space which happens in you, to you, the chit, gets gravitated to the vibration and the thought you cherish about the future. So whatever it is that you're cherishing at the moment you live about, that is what your integrated listening is about at that moment. And when you have, and in that moment, that is what's going to decide your future.
Yeah, exactly. And he says it is not about, see, how what we naturally believe, even Hindus, right? It's like what will happen to in our next birth is completely, fully based on our past, how we have lived our past. That's the whole myth that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is breaking. That is the whole source code, that even the karmic law, he is teaching us how to even, hack into that source code and really manifest what we want to manifest. The truth that he is revealing, it is not based on our past actions or our past cognitions or whatever we have done in the past, which decides where we go, which direction we head to in the moment we leave the body. It is solely and only a function of, a result of the cognition, the decision we have in our inner space about our future, how we consciously decide our future to be. That is what is going to be the gravitating force, which is going to take us in that particular direction after we leave the body. It's a very important truth, man. Maybe you can also expand further what the Supreme Pontiff really is trying to explain.
So if you have 90 years of life, if you have lived in a demonic life, like you had no integrated listening, you just went with whatever was around you, and you didn't live a peaceful life. That is what a demonic life is. It's just not peaceful. And for some reason, either by Guru's grace, God's grace, or some purva punya, that or something you had, some karma that you had, it led you to realize that you do not want to continue this demonic kind of mentality. You didn't want to be self-loathing. You didn't want to be self-hating. You didn't want to be absolutely discontented. This is a demonic life. And at last moment, when you realize that you wanted to align to integrated principles, aligning with life positivity, aligning with the Guru, aligning with the God or the truths that are there in Hinduism, or the reality of life, then you'll see, you even in that last moment, if you had that decision and then you leave the body, you wanting that future for yourself, wanting a future out of this demonic life, that itself will make you gravitate towards a life that is conscious, a life, and that one decision has the power. It is just how you have gravitated and how you live, where you decided to put your integrated listening.
Yes, exactly. The Supreme Pontiff also says that the weight of your past sits on your muscle memory. The power of decision is in your bio memory. See, there are 3 layers of the energy that we carry. The lowest is the muscle memory, the patterns that we have in our life, the way we respond to situations out of the muscle memory, the patterns that we are experiencing in our physical level, right? It can be addictions, it can be our anger patterns or jealousy or hatred, or, just all of these patterns that we experience in our life. They are stored in our muscle memory. When we talk about this whole past, right? How our past is going to impact the future. This past is really stored in our muscle memory, all these past patterns, right? The moment we leave the body, this whole muscle memory just becomes redundant, because it is a product of the body itself, right? The moment we leave the body, it's not the muscle memory which is the deciding factor. It is the biomemory and the bioenergy, right? Bioenergy is the higher layer of the conscious blueprint that we carry. It also contains the patterns, but it is not really the lowest layer and the heaviest, most gross layer of patterns that we carry. 99% of the patterns will become just redundant the moment we leave the body, because they are stored in the muscle memory. The decisions that we are making, right? When we talk about the decisions about our future, those decisions are made and stored in the bio memory level, right? Bio memory is something which we carry to the next birth, which we carry even after leaving the body. And very important factor is that the bioenergy that is inside us, the consciousness, which many people unfortunately don't even recognize it to be the true factor. That is the unfortunate reality which we live in. But that is the reality. That is the source code, that we are ultimately consciousness. The moment we take the decision, and if we even at the last moment, just before leaving the body, we make that decision goes with us, that stays with us. And if we make that decision consciously, the whole power of bioenergy gets stored in the biomemory. And that is what is the gravitating force which takes us towards the future, towards the next birth. And it can even be liberation, right? If you just want to experience liberation after leaving the body, that's one conscious decision is enough to make us experience that, manifest that.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shares that nothing exists other than Shiva. It is auspicious existence, Shiva. When Swamiji utters the word Shiva, it is the source of this vibration.
Yes.
Only this exists. If you start liking the source of this vibration, if you start just understanding, I want to go towards the path of Shiva, how he lives, how he is, what he represents, what he embodies, then I want to be Shiva.
Yes, exactly. Because see, that is the very core of our existence. The core of our being is Shiva. It is ultimate auspiciousness, right? Just reasonless auspiciousness. That is our core existence. The consciousness that we carry is Shiva. The moment we cognize this, that we are ultimately, we are consciousness. And from that consciousness itself, we have created the body, we have created the mind, and the whole life experience that is happening around us is product of that consciousness. It's like the Swamiji also gives an example. It's like if we take clay, right? From that clay, we can make whatever we want. We can make a Ganapati Murti, or we can make something else, Paramashiva Murti, anything we want to make from that one clay. Similarly, that consciousness that we carry inside, Paramashiva himself, is like that clay. The moment we take that clay, we have the power to mold it into whatever we want consciously, right? The only thing is what is required is the conscious decision. First, cognizing that we are ultimately, we are consciousness, we are Paramashiva. And from that, taking the decision to manifest whatever we want to manifest will make the entire load of the past redundant, completely irrelevant. And we can manifest whatever we want. And he says that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, one thing I want to tell you, want you to know deeply, you have extraordinary willpower that you cannot even imagine, right? It is, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, it is his responsibility to tell the truth to all, that all the impossibility, suffocation, self-torture, self-doubt, self-hate, self-denial, and all other confusions and frustrations that you may have will lose power over you when you decide consciously declaring, because consciousness is from the plane of bioenergy. At the deepest layer inside of the being is filled, is consciousness itself, Paramashiva himself, right? All the patterns operate from the plane of muscle memory. So muscle memory is the lowest plane. Biomemory is higher and bioenergy is highest. Conscious decisions are from bioenergy. That is why they have the power to literally override the whole programming that you have done till now. The whole code that you have, you see, ultimately the whole code of existence is written by us only. It may be unconsciously without knowing, because we are Paramashiva. We are only creating the reality that we want, right? Even till now, we have only, it's us who has created that reality. Just by knowing, becoming aware and conscious that, yes, I am Paramashiva, and I have the power to mold my reality as I want, right? And that decision, conscious decision, since it's coming from the highest plane of bioenergy, it can overwrite any kind of coding, programming, software that we have inside us, and overwrite and create a new operating system in our being and make us experience whatever we want.
And when we leave the body, the muscle memory doesn't come.
Yes.
It is only the biomemory and bioenergy that come. And that's the good news, madam. And when we say we don't have, when we leave the body, we don't carry the mind. We don't carry the mind around its muscle memory. Means most of our actions, if we see the mind or what it is just throughout our body, it's just in our muscles. Yes. And then that muscle memory doesn't come with us. And then when it comes to what actually moves, it is only the bioenergy and the biomemory. And that's the good news, because it's like getting us a beautiful clean space to start again. Exactly. Where the integrated decisions are there. From there, we get to begin our new future.
Yes, exactly. And see, we can relate it to any example we have in our own life. Even yesterday, for example, the food pattern we were talking about, right? How we have become slaves of our taste, of our senses. Now society is also exploiting the people of their own, all these attachments to the senses that people have, exploiting it just for their money, their profit, their own greed, completely destroying the health of the people, right? That is also one of the ways in which we have become slaves to these muscle memory patterns inside us, right? We may think that, oh my God, this is something I just cannot get rid of, right? I've tried again and again to get rid of this habit or that habit, be it smoking, be it drinking, be it whatever it is, like even the addiction to taste and junk food, right? Even it can be pornography, anything, right? People might think that become powerless, right? Thinking that again and again they have decided to making these decisions to come out of it, come out of that addiction to that from that habit, but it's not working. They are again and again relapsing back into that pattern. The only truth they have to learn, they have to see, they have to listen to is that when that decision from them happens from the space of consciousness, cognizing that they are consciousness, right? They are not those patterns. They are not those patterns of body. They are not those patterns of mind. They are not even body and mind. The moment we settle into that cognition and make the decisions out of that, all these habits, all these addictions will just become redundant. You don't even have to fight. Maybe you're trying to fight them off too much, right? But you don't even have to fight. That is the whole beauty of knowing the truth, knowing the source code of existence, that you are ultimately Paramashiva. The consciousness that resides in you has the power to literally make everything else redundant, because anyway, nothing else exists. Only Paramashiva exists. Anything else is nothing else but delusion, right? How can we become powerless in front of delusion? We only are giving unconsciously this delusion the power to operate and enslave us. The moment we cognize, the beauty is simply listening to this truth is enough to liberate us. That is the significance of listening these truths from the enlightened being, especially incarnation. In our case, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, who is reviving this whole sacred science of Sanatana Hindu Dharma on planet Earth through the creation of KAILASA, the first nation for all Hindus, and literally re-establishing the ancient enlightened Hindu civilization nation on planet Earth, and literally liberating each and every being from these simplest of habits that are enslaved, that have enslaved them, right? All the way to giving them the ultimate enlightenment experience, oneness with Paramashiva himself.
Yes, Maharaj, and absolutely. The Supreme Pontiff again reiterates that if you have lived 90 years as like a hell life, but in the last moment you have a decision to live an enlightened life, immediately you will be pulled to Swarga. You will be living in a heaven, and that is the way that the life cycles happen inside it. And this is the truth. This is the reality, and inside our programs, inside MahaParamashivoham, we give a beautiful, detailed explanation about how consciousness is, your consciousness, and how we move from one body to the next, and all of these details, and how the whole reincarnation works, and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is elaborating on actually what it is that is the code that makes you move from one body to the next, make you progress. And that is all these details are given as an experiential understanding inside the MahaParamashiva program. And this is another invitation for everyone who is watching right now to see and scan the link below and get your registration ready for the MahaParamashiva session that is available to you free today itself. So take this opportunity. Don't miss the opportunity to have the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and to have his initiation, and to dive deeper into these beautiful truths that we are discussing here today.
Yes, exactly. And let the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, decode this entire source code of the cosmos for you. Let him liberate you. Let him bolt all these great truths in your own muscle memory, in your own bio memory, so that you don't even have to, be aware or anything. You don't have to do anything. He says, he simply promises, the moment you leave the body, the moment his disciples leave the body, he will simply emerge. He will simply appear in front of them and literally liberate them, give them the choice. You want to take a conscious birth, or you want to, merge with Paramashiva, you want to experience MahaKailasa, right? Simply, when the Guru is in your life, you don't even have to worry about anything at all. Simply being in his presence, simply enjoying his darshan, his words, anything is simply the simplest solution to liberate yourself and experience the ultimate in your life in a most casual, simple way.
Yes, and he takes us to the space of Dvadashanta. It is the space from which Paramashiva is ruling and running the whole universe, the source itself. And the simple truth in all of us is that we have a Dvadashanta, the existence of Paramashiva. It is the Dvadashanta is also described as the Brahmarandha, space that is there when Sahasrara opens.
Yes.
That experience that you have of powerfulness and Paramashiva literally landing in and manifesting through you. That is where he exists inside Dvadashanta itself.
Yes, exactly. And he says, when you leave the body, 99% of your enemies will not even be there, right? That is the whole beauty. just so that you, because you have this knowledge, you can get enlightened and reach Kailasa simply because at one time, at one point in your life, you listened to these truths. These truths are somewhere bolted in your being, deep in your muscle memory or bio memory, anywhere, right? Just when you leave the body, these truths will simply pop up and guide you further in your journey. That is why he says, the Supreme Pontiff says, when you are healthy and young, you should listen to these great truths. That is the whole beauty, right, of Nithyananda Gurukul, Kailasa's Gurukul, right? At a very young age, kids are groomed and given this great knowledge and made to experience the powerfulness of experiencing these great powerful cognitions so that they become bolted in their muscle memory and bio memory. Entire life, they don't even have to worry. Automatically, it just acts as an automatic guiding mechanism for them, right? The Guru positioning system, as Swamiji put it, right? GPS for them, right? All these truths will simply appear whenever you face any problem. Even in my personal experience, Maharaj, I can say, whenever I have any problem or anything I face, any crisis, small, little, this or that, even mood swing, right? Just the right words it will appear, which I have listened to at one point of time, anytime, maybe even 2 to 3 years before. Simply they will appear and they will pop up, and I don't even have to do anything. Just by them appearing, reappearing in my inner space, they do the job. That is the whole beauty. That is the whole power of having a guru in your life.
Yes. And if you have the guru in your life and he's there, you are
Yes.
qualified. Absolutely qualified. And you should be able to make the decision consciously that you are going to drop the weight of your past and you will now make the correct decisions for having a powerful future.
Yes.
Future. And when the knowledge, but the warning is also given. The one by Yama himself, the Lord, that he gives the warning that when the knowledge is given to the unqualified people, the teacher is then tortured because of these unqualified people. That is the role of these abusers and the people who do a lot of the harassment or the anti-guru kind of
Yes.
people. That is what they are doing to the Supreme Court of Hinduism.
Yes.
When they receive the knowledge, but they don't understand it fully or don't understand that it is absolutely life positive,
Yes.
not some kind of something that we can use to exploit other people.
Their own inner patterns are so, the weight of their patterns is so much that they just cannot digest or even listen to these higher truths. That's why the Vedas and Agamas say that these people are unqualified and the master should not share. And whenever the master shares these truths, natural reaction from these unqualified beings is a negative reaction, abuse. That's what happens. That's what even the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, that he is facing from all these abusers, right? Then the people with the life negative attitude, all that abusers that is coming his way. And he also says that all incarnations have to face. All incarnations in the past also have faced this, right? There is no incarnation who has not gone through abuse, through harassment in his life from the people at that time. Only later, right? Only after the incarnation has left the body, only after that, years and years and even decades after that, and in fact, centuries after that, people start realizing and start worshipping and this and that. But at that time, so much of abuse and harassment, every incarnation has to go through simply because of the great truths which this incarnation is revealing to the masses, which are in deep delusion. The whole society, right? Fundamentally, society doesn't even like you living an awakened life. That is the sad reality, right? It is like a mass dulling, a mass dampening mechanism, right? Which society works to make you dumb because it doesn't even know why it is dumb, right? So many examples we can take how this whole, dumbing down of the beings in the society has, that extent it has gone to, that anyone who simply speaks the truth in the society today to liberate the beings will not be accepted by the society. There will be some reaction, there will be some negative reaction, because it's an automatic dulling mechanism, as the Supreme Pontiff has put it, just to go against anyone who speaks these truths.
Yes, sir. If you take an example, the Supreme Court of Hinduism shares, if any violence or any domestic abuse or anything that happens in your area, you need to know about it to protect yourself, to make the correct measures to see how that that system failed and how to not prevent these kind of violence and situations that happen around you. But you are trained to read all about the violence that is happening in the world. That is what the way that the society is but it is not needed. All you see is so much of violence in you're exposed to so much of violence, and again, those only come up again, and now you will have the internet. That if you go around searching for more of this violent kind of news and content, the YouTube algorithms or the internet will just put more and more, more and more content in front of you that is having more of this violence.
It's like a vicious circle,
Yes,
Maharaj, right?
and that is the way. If you consume this content, the whole it is not programmed to kill you yet. We still have
Exactly.
to get
Even the OTT platform, all the famous OTT platform, if you actually just open it once, the best, the top, the recommendations are full. They're either, they're either those dark mysteries, or they are full of fear.
Yes.
They're full of violence.
Yes.
They're full of lust. These patterns are only coming up again and again, and making the society more and more trapped in this whole, the patterns that we are talking about.
Yes,
right?
and it's literally a time to do what we have been discussing. The elders who are there in our life, they will be the ones who tell us the real, because they're alive, they're life positive, and they'll tell us the real history about what is our Hinduism culture, how it is not having a false narrative that we are always hearing about, that the Hinduism somehow oppressive religion in some parts of society. All these false narratives are taught to us and showing that, hey, look, you are put in an angry situation, violence is there all around you. That is absolutely unnecessary. Between one to the Hinduism thing, life is auspicious, life is Shiva. See how positive things are happening. It's all about who is telling you those things, and it's about who you're surrounding yourself. And
even in media and wherever we see, it's the negative news, so to speak, that makes the breaking news, right? That's how the human mind has been programmed to even like, unfortunately, right? We are not being told what our elders are, all the beings who have come before us, what all their contributions they have made to make the planet Earth into what we are enjoying today, right? All the facilities, all the infrastructure that we have, even the internet, because of which people are watching us. Somebody has actually put effort and contributed and made this whole infrastructure possible. What are their stories? Nobody tells their stories. It's all life positive, contributing stories. But what do we hear? All violence, who is killing whom, who is dropping bombs on whom. That is the only thing that we hear, right? This is the unfortunate situation we are in. We don't need to know all this. Violence is not okay. It has become okay. It has made to be okay by this whole dampening mechanism of the society, which is trapping people more and more into these life negative cognitions and patterns, right? We have to literally understand the truth, who we really are, and how to break out. And first of all, we have the power to break out of this whole bubble, so to speak, right? Of the patterns and violence and this and that. No, see, we say society again and again, but there is no real society, so to speak. It is just the collective unconsciousness. And even one being realizing the truth, hacking into the source code, is enough to come out of this whole deadening mechanism, and then even enrich others to come out of it.
And whoever is revealing the great truths of humanity, these are demons or rakshasas, or this part of the unconscious mass that we're studying, do not want humanity to know this great truth that you are consciousness. Yes. That is the greatest truth that is there, that comes from the people, that is like the central spindle of all of you, to teach you and make you experience through life, through food, through everything, everything you do, just you wear, through the yoga that you do in the morning. Every part of your life is to help you realize your consciousness. You are not just this body and mind.
That's about the whole general belief system out there in the world, right?
Unfortunately, they tell so much that, hey, you have a body, you have a mind, you should, your body, you have a mind, you should wear it. You are continuously being told that you are identifying with your body and mind. Yes. And also being told again, if you don't protect this body and mind, there are elements out there that are going to destroy, and the violence is also spread over and again. And they always try to do a lot of work on trying to make sure that those who are telling you that this isn't the truth, the truth is that your consciousness, there is so much of work, so much of unnecessary work happening to stop the people who are trying to tell others to wake up and see the world in the reality that it is life positive, that it is Shiva, powerful things that you can live by, that you can rejuvenate yourself with, and then you have a beautiful rebirth in now itself. You can, you're not given this kind of opportunity, and that is why the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is telling again and again that to be life positive, to be, because that is the very center of Hinduism. and he's giving the truth directly from the core, that in telling you again and again, you are consciousness, and that consciousness is absolutely life positive.
Yes.
You are, and you are Paramashiva. Paramashiva is absolutely life positive. And this is what we get to have as a beautiful ecosystem when we join the activities of KAILASA, especially the MahaParamashivoham sessions that are going on up to July 3rd. We'll be having free sessions every night. The Supreme Court of Hinduism has beautifully made himself available. And this is something that nobody should miss. This is something that everybody should attend and get to know. And everybody's asking, well, how do we get to KAILASA? How do we go to KAILASA?
Yes.
Come and join the experience. It is a civilizational nation where you have to have an experience of this enlightening civilization, and how to have that, how to keep that as a reality for your life, and how to make integrated decisions towards realizing your consciousness, you are beyond body and mind. If you're a seeker out there, then you must join the MahaParamashiva session. Tonight, it is just going to be a matter of 1 or 2 hours that it's going to start.
Yes, exactly. And so much of energy, it's just by experiencing him in having darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism itself is so powerful an experience, and literally it can just bulldoze so many of our patterns simply sitting in silence and having his darshan, enjoying him, right? It itself has the power to awaken your Kundalini Shakti and make you experience all the best things in life. And not just that, when you attend the MahaParamashivam program, you will also might have an opportunity to communicate with him one-on-one. Right? It's simply what Paramashiva has in store for you. Nobody knows. It's simply an opportunity for you, the best gift that is waiting for you. Simply sign in, right? Either scan the QR code, fill the intention form. The best way for you is just to drop a message or call on the number that is being projected at the bottom of your screen. The number is +1 323 607 7111. I repeat, +1 323 607 7111. That is the number. Simply drop in a message and we will get back to you as soon as possible. It is your moment to experience the best in life. All this knowledge, all these powerful cognitions that we are sharing with you comes directly from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And the best thing you can do to yourself is directly be in his presence and directly let Paramashiva handle your life and be the guiding force for your life and make the best things possible for you.
Yes. Priority or focus on which we should spend our time, our treasure, and our talent should be towards making ourselves experience the conscious state, experience that we are consciousness. When you understand the consciousness, the conscious state of you, you will experience supernal effulgence. You'll experience such lightweight, and you will also experience that you just create heaven around you. You just be able to manifest everything that you desire, and also be able to enrich so many people around you. You literally create the KAILASA that we were talking about.
Exactly, Maharaj. Because as a society also, we have to now take a strong decision for how long we will continue with these wars and famines and upheavals, all these economic crisis. We literally have to, now we are standing at the brink of making the whole planet Earth literally go to waste because of these wars and, even nuclear wars or whatever is the possibility, the third world war as well, right? So many things are happening, even the pandemics. We have to collectively make consciousness as our priority, as our focus. Even the world leaders have to stand up now. They have to start delving into these truths, listening to these truths as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing to take the entire world to the next level and solving all these problems, create a new and enlightened human civilization on planet Earth, which can actually flourish and live in the most life positive way, contributing way, right? Instead of just, what is our the cream of our civilization spending time on? It's just making viruses and making softwares to kill those viruses. This drama that's all is happening. Most of the best minds from our universities, colleges, what are they doing, right? Either they're spending time on this or they're just spending time on just working out some financial formulas, right? We have the opportunity, we have the infrastructure, we have the resources to solve all the problems that the humanity is facing. Like even yesterday we were discussing, right? The problems of hunger, the problems of malnourishment, the problem of the gender violence, whatever this gender discrimination is happening, racism, all these, the violence that is happening. the hungry, the junk food, the junk hunger pattern, which Swamiji said was talking about yesterday, that all these things, we have the power, we have the infrastructure to solve all these problems. Only what we are lacking is the conscious will, first the understanding of the great truths of consciousness, that we are Brahman, we are Paramashiva, and we have the power to make decisions to change whatever programming we have done to us individually as well as collectively. Knowing this knowledge, receiving this knowledge directly from the incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and making conscious decisions to change whatever needs to be changed and take the humanity, take our individual, individual being to the next level, manifest the breakthrough, superconscious breakthrough in our own being, and then even enrich others to have the similar experience, enjoy this experience. That is what is really needed. And that's how the whole revival of Kailasa, it stands on this whole pillar of making humanity experience this superconscious breakthrough today, right?
The rulers, the controllers of humanity do not want the alive, conscious human beings, because such human beings are too powerful and they can manifest power. They can do so much, and they're doing a lot of work just to suppress these alive, conscious beings. And when you start thinking that you are consciousness, you will start building richness, and you will come to the conclusion that whether you are safe, secure, rich or not, it is not about any of these things. It is that you can rely on truth, that your consciousness, that will be the most empowering principle in life. And when you are integrated to that particular decision, then you'll be able to function from that very truth, and you conduct your life and enrich so many people also around you, be able to also raise their intelligence.
Exactly. Even the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says that just in 1 or 2 years, if the key decision makers of just a few countries, if just those people can understand these truths and start making conscious decisions based on these truths, at least 2 billion people can realize the supernal effulgence of their intelligence and consciousness, right? That is what Kailasa is doing. That's what the whole work, the mission of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is all about, of creating a conscious civilization on planet Earth, making people understand, especially making the key decision makers, the key influencers of the world, understanding the importance of knowing these great truths and making conscious decisions, right? Not making decisions because of fear, right? Even just when you said that, most of these people are scared of people who are manifesting powers. There's no need to be afraid, right? They themselves can manifest powers and be literally like kings and queens, and govern most dharmic nations, dharmic kingdoms on planet Earth. What is stopping them, right? Just knowing the conscious truth and not operating out of fear, out of greed, or any of these lower cognitions, manifesting Paramashiva himself in each and every decision that they can make, that they are going to make, is going to make the change that we want to see in the world, right?
Just like how the Supreme Court also that violence is not okay, not to have an injection of any violence in the society or in the media that you consume. In the same way, he's also telling us that atheism should not be allowed. Anytime the possibility of you experiencing yourself as consciousness will be absolutely stopped. The possibilities of raising your intelligence, all these possibilities will be completely stopped. This is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism calls as being consciously handicapped.
Consciously handicapped.
Absolutely handicapped. Because you will not even know this way that you're handicapped. You will just be limping and walking, but you don't know the source. Because the whole it comes from the idea of who you are, and when that idea is not powerful, it is more of just something that is atheistic. Then it will just not help you to live in a powerful way, especially the way that many of the techniques that Hinduism gives. For example, meditation. Meditation should be encouraged in all the educational places, and it's so that it can really help the new generation, and it create a beautiful environment for that is not having violence, that is nurturing their possibilities of higher intelligence and higher consciousness, and then be a sweet, crime-free, blissful environment to all the people, and just in the schools and in everyone around in society as well, to get awakened and really reach Kailasa, whenever they leave the body.
Yes, and even while they are in the body, to experience the best, to really what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism calls living enlightenment. That is possible even when we are living in this body consciously, when we live with the awakened consciousness, with having the initiation from the Guru, in our case, is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the living incarnation, manifestation of Paramashiva himself. Life just becomes blissful, as you said, right? Everything becomes possible and enjoyable, right? Whole thing, we just come out. In fact, the grid of violence, of lust and greed and fear, all these things that we are seeing in the society today just lose their power over us. They just become redundant. The best thing you can do to your enemy is just to make him irrelevant. You don't even have to fight. Nothing you have to do. That is what is the power of initiation from the Guru, initiation from an incarnation, initiation from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. That's why again and again we tell you, right now, just join for the MahaParamashivoham program. It's being offered, gifted, absolutely free of cost from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. And his darshan is going to start just in 1 or 2 hours. The program is running still, even now it is going on. So why are you waiting? Just give us a call or drop in a message on WhatsApp message on this number, +1 323 607 7111, which is being projected at the bottom of your screen as well. So drop in a message and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And you can experience this great awakening and hear these great truths. Have the darshan of Paramashiva's own incarnation in your own life, who's waiting to gift you the best in all dimensions: health, wealth, relationships, career, even the ultimate fulfillment, inner peace, joy, everything and anything that you want. He is there to fulfill you and give you all of that.
So he is doing so much work even today by giving this program free to everyone, and telling them that these is a survival need, that these truths are that the truths that you are conscious of, that you are a higher power. You are the most powerful person that can happen in your life. That you have the capability of manifesting anything you want. All these life positive truths are need to be more important to you than just your bread and butter. It needs to be a survival need, and this is the way that the Supreme Pontiff is really reaching out to everyone and giving the MahaParamashivoham program sessions free to everyone right now, so that they can come and really experience the truth behind everything that we've been discussing, the truth behind meditation, find the truth behind the dharma that we're discussing here in Hinduism, and have it as an experiential understanding.
Yes, exactly, Maharaj, because this is exactly what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, when he said that, what he meant by it being mandatory. Not just it is useful, of course it is useful, but it should be mandatory. This knowledge, this experience, this initiation has to be mandatory for each and every being, right? Because most of us have this cognition that, okay, practical life is one, and these things they are spiritual truths, and we can wait a little, maybe when we are older we can listen to them and actually get back to God or whatever. No, he makes it very clear. This is something which is more important to all of us than even our bread and butter, right? Because as we said, right, it is conscious handicap that we have been forced into by not knowing these truths, by not experiencing the powerfulness of these truths in our day-to-day practical life as well. Right? That's where the whole thing starts. When we start manifesting powers, we start breaking our limitations even in our practical day-to-day life, even in the situation of bread and butter, so to speak. We start breaking all these limitations, and that's where we get more and more grounded in these highest truths of the cosmos. That's where the whole cracking the code, hacking into the cosmic code happens, and we experience the reality that we want to experience, eventually experiencing oneness with Paramashiva himself.
Yes, Maharaj. And we are also going to now get in for the darshan on 5th day celebrations of the Nithyananda Paramashivoham. So, if you all been following us, we have been celebrating this 10-day celebration of Nithyananda Purnima. The very Nithyananda Purnima is the full moon day, under which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had the enlightenment experience when he was just 12 years old. Every year we celebrate at the same full moon, this Nithyananda Purnima, the day when he became enlightened, when he had the deepest Nirvikalpa Samadhi experience. And that day we cherish, and every year On that day, grand celebrations happened in all of the KAILASAs, Nithyananda Paramashivam, and before that, 10 days of celebration will happen, and a celebration of each and every aspect of the spiritual incubator of the ecosystem that the Supreme Pontiff brought up in. That is the spiritual ecosystem of Nacha, of Tirunamala, where he was brought up in. We celebrate each and every aspect of that, each and throughout this proposal. And today is the 5th day, and where we're seeing a beautiful Lila Ankara, celebrating one of the Lilas where the ecosystem supporting the Supreme Pontiff. Whenever it comes to describing this 360-degree experience, he explains what it is that he experienced as enlightenment and how he's so grateful to the ecosystem for giving it. He gives absolutely all credit, saying it is because of the ecosystem, it is because of the gurus, it is because of all of those best influences in my life that I was able to have this profound experience. And this whole Brahmotsam, this whole 10-day festival is just again, as he's celebrating, we're also celebrating his gurus, that very ecosystem. So we will now get ready to offer the puja to the Lila Lankara, our Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Tracy, and we'll offer our puja and respects.
So I really took the opportunity to do this program because I felt like I was going through something in my life. Even though I had everything and all the boons that Swamiji had given me, maybe getting the house of my dreams or the job that I wanted, I could even say even having a child, that I struggled to have a baby for 3 years. And I was blessed with one after doing Pada Puja to Swamiji. So in spite of all our dreams being fulfilled, me and my families, I still felt I was struggling internally. And all these things weren't giving me the completion I was looking for. And I thought maybe they were the reasons why I'm struggling, why maybe I might be having conflicts in relationships. And so I thought maybe if I could solve these problems, I would be in a much better place within, and I would be a happier person. However, even after, getting all the blessings and the boons, and that Swamiji so compassionately bestows upon us, I noticed that I was having a lot of internal conflicts as well as with my relationships. So in this program, I had chosen to focus a lot on relationships. So I would talk about one major breakthrough that I had when I did the program was the feeling of victimhood. And I didn't even realize how much actually I was struggling with the idea of victimhood. Because we're so, taught since childhood to blame things, we blame other people, we may blame situations in our life, and we often say, oh, that's so sad, oh, that's too bad, oh, I can't believe it's happening to me, or I can't believe it's happening to you. We have been trained to think that like that so much that I constantly fell back into that, cognition space to, pity myself or pity others or blame situations. I started actually even cognizing, why, certain things would happen to me at work with my colleagues or with my family members, and I was so sure it had nothing to do with me. I just felt, well, I was right. I did the right thing. So why on earth, did this incident happen? Or, why is my dad getting upset about this and this and this when I've done everything that I think I should have done, for instance. And that's when it came to me. And, Ma helped me through this process, was the idea of victimhood that we've been carrying since our childhood. And of course, we would like to connect all the episodes that have happened in our life. And we kept thinking that is who I am. is this person to who all these bad things would constantly happen. And I carried that cognition so strongly in my life that I would actually attract those situations, or even if I didn't attract them, even if someone just said one remark which I didn't like, I would fall into the zone of victimhood. And honestly, right now I'm trying to remember what it felt like being a victim, but so much completion has happened to me ever since I did the writing exercises that I cannot even recall how it feels like to be a victim anymore. And I've just come out of it. I literally, that day, I walked out of that feeling. And it completely heals my inner space, and our relationships just began to blossom.
If you found this video entertaining, entraining, and enlightening, take a
Mangalam kalpavrikshaya, Mangalam
Jnanadayine
kamadayine, Paramashivaya Shri Nithyanandeshwaraya Mangalam, Mangalam Shri Vidyambaye, Mangalam kamadayinye, Sarva Mangaladhatri Nithyanandeshwarye Mangalam, Mangalam Gurudevaya, Moksha Moolaya Mangalam, Paramavatāraya Nithyanandaya Gurave Mangalam, Tvam Smritamaham Dhanya, Mama Pranamaheshwara, Gangadharanameti, Stotra Sthanam Dadamyaham, Hari Om Tat Sat, Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu, Om Nithyanandam.
Nithyanandam, we welcome you back after this exciting and amazing darshan and puja that we offered to Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam on this auspicious occasion of of Nithyananda Purnima Brahmotsavam that is taking place, that is being celebrated all over KAILASA these days. And it will be culminating on the 10th day, that is June 4th. Yes, Maharaj?
Yes.
June 4th is the Nithyananda Purnima, the auspicious day of Nithyananda Purnima, which remembering and celebration of the enlightenment experience that happened in the personal life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, at a very tender age of 12, when he had the 360-degree vision, the ultimate experience, enlightenment experience, the Nirvikalpa Samadhi that he himself experienced in his life. That is what we are celebrating in the Nithyananda Purnima Brahmotsavam. So, as we are now completing and closing our discussion and our episode and our show on this topic of how just knowing the ultimate code of the cosmic code and hacking into it, Brahmaiva, what is it? Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati, right? That is the ultimate code. That is how, just by the knowledge of Brahman, the knowledge about the ultimate truth that we are Paramashiva, we are consciousness, we can literally liberate ourselves from any limitations, any patterns, anything, and manifest the reality that we want to manifest in our life. So with this, let's now lead to the most awaited segment of today, that is the Nithyananda Satsang, having the darshan and the direct words from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, explaining all these secrets directly to us so that we can cognize them and manifest the reality as we want. And before we go into the next segment, we will again call out for all the viewers who are watching us to sign up for MahaParamashivoham. The phone number, the WhatsApp number is being projected at the bottom of your screen. Just drop in a message, WhatsApp message to us, and join MahaParamashivoham right now. The darshan, the direct darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is going to start just in 1 or 2 hours. And the program is even now, it's running, it's going on, just jumping to experience the best in your life and get ready to receive the ultimate manifestation and the incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, in your own life. So drop in a message or call us on this number which is being projected at the bottom of your screen and join MahaParamashivoham now. So with this, we now lead to the Nithyananda Satsang. But before we receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, before we have the darshan, let us prepare ourselves. Let's have a small meditation and prepare ourselves so that we can receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with the utmost integrity and devotion, so that we can benefit the best out of this experience. So let's sit with the head, neck, and spine in a straight line, with our eyes closed, our body completely relaxed from head to toe. Release all the tension, all the stress that you carry in your body. Breathe deeply. Inhale and exhale. And with the exhalation, relieve all the tension, all the stress that you carry in your body. Let's carry a deep space of restful awareness and devotion in our Ananda Gandha. That is the space between our navel center and our heart center. Let's visualize Paramashiva in our third eye, in bright golden light with 25 heads, 50 hands, and 75 eyes, in his supernal effulgence as Paramashiva, gracing us with the best in our life, coming down in the form of his living manifestation, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let the Mahavakya reverberate in our entire being as we prepare ourselves to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's now chant the Mahavakya.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
Shri KAILASA Dwadashanda Shyamala Pidharuda Shri Meenakshi Sundareshwara Vinna Swarupa Parashiva Putra Ratna Kumara Guru Manya Tulyavadara Shri Parvati Stankyamana Labda Divya Jnana Vishruta Sakala Nigamagavasara Bhuta Dravida Veda Pravartaka Shrivan Paramashiva Karuna Satigata Uttamaya Satrashrayana Diyamana Chatra Chamana Shri Chinnakaharati Savasta Viratavalyarandita Jnana Vijnana Chakravarti Sarvajana Sangha Satyojata Kurvana Diksha Vyayapava
शक्यशाक्ये नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे कामाय मह्यमुत्पामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः
சனடி போற்றி சிவன் சேவடி போற்றி நேயத்தே நின்றடி மலனடி போற்றி மாயப்பிறப்பருக்கும் மன்னனடி போற்றி சிறார் பெருந்துரையிடம் தேவனடி போற்றி ஆராத இன்பம் அருளும் மலை போற்றி ஈசனே சிந்தை கவல வந்தனேசனே நீ வருவாய் ஓடு கனிகளை கொண்டு உன்னை பூஜித்தோ அருள் தருவாய் கலி என்னும் கடலினில் மூழ்கிட்டு இனி கரம் தந்து காத்து கருணை பொய்கையில் அலர்ந்திட்ட அளவற்றும் போல உன் திருவடியில் வாழ்ந்திட வாராய் அருணாச்சலனே நீ வாராய் அகண்ட ஜோதியனே வாராய் அல்லல் நீக்கிடவே வாராய் அகிலம் போற்றுகின்ற ஈசனே சிந்தை கவல வந்தனேசனே நீ வருவாய் ஒடு கனிகளை கொண்டு பூஜித்தோ அருள் தருவாய் மெய்யினில் வில்வமும் நிறையாக்கனில் முடியோடு தரிசனமருளவா செம்பொன் மாட சிற்றவை தனிலே சிந்தை கவர்ந்த உன்னை சிக்கன பிடித்தேனே வந்தும் புகழ்
நித்யானந்தேஸ்வர பரமசிவ சமாரம்பாம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி பராசக்தி மத்யமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சார்ய பர்யந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம். I welcome you all with my love and respect. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis, Srimahans, Mahants, Tanedar, Kotari, visitors, viewers, sitting with us all over the world through Nithyananda TV, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Enlighten app, KAILASA TV, Hinduism Now TV, Twitter, two-way video conferencing, having Nayanadiksha. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Paramashiva's message from Sri KAILASA. in one line, Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. Knowledge about the cosmos makes us experience one with the cosmos. Brahmavit. I am translating the word Brahma as a cosmos, even though it is a smaller than the original principle shown by the word Brahma. Understand? The principle shown by the word Brahma is the whole. Everything exists. Everything. I'm just using the word cosmos to translate the principle. Anyone knows the Brahman, the cosmos, becomes one with it. Listen intensely now. Knowledge about the cosmos is absolutely mandatory and useful. Understand that. Mandatory and useful. You need to know. You really need to know this basic understandings about life. First thing. Today, whatever I am going to reveal is too important for your life. If you are feeling little sleepy, tired and all that, if needed, go and pick up your cup of coffee, tea. It's okay. Have a cup of coffee, cup of tea. Pick up your hot chocolate. You can come and sit with your coffee, tea, hot chocolate in the satsang. Nothing wrong. I'm cool about it. And I also wanted to inform now itself, all the ashrams and sarvanya pitas should have coffee, hot chocolate, tea vending machine freely. Make it available in our satsang hall. Only if some country does not allow it legally, don't. If it is legally allowed in all our satsang halls all over the world, I do not know whether law permits in USA and Canada. If law permits, allow, get it. There should be free, cost-free vending machine established in all our ashrams, satsang halls for tea, coffee and hot chocolate. And pure vegan, non-violent milk should be used. Okay. Now if you need, please pick and come and sit, because the purpose of this session is you listening to the truth, like how Prahalada listened from the womb of his mother. Understand one thing. Listen carefully. When I am talking about cosmos, you may not believe, who knows all this is true, he is just blabbering, whatever. How do I know? Till I experience all this has no meaning for me. All this self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial, all that will be there. Don't worry. It is like listen to this example. I am describing how Kashi looks. Oh, it is shining. Tall temples, beautiful arches, amazing stonework, tall embankments and huge ghats, kilometer lengths of ghats. Varanasi is something great. You may say, who knows all these things? He may be just telling stories. But for some reason, you are lost in Varanasi. Some reason you just landed there. and you are lost in Varanasi. Then suddenly all this you heard from me can come up in your memory and say, yes, hey, Swamiji said, there will be one God called Dasaswamedha God. From there, if you start walking, Vishwanath temple will be there. Yes, yes, yes. I remember him telling, let's go and have darshan. Same way, one day you are going to be left in cosmos after you leave the body. That time, whatever you heard from me now will come up. It will just pop up and guide you. Like how Prahlada, whatever Prahlada heard from Narada, sitting in his mother's womb, when he came out, when he assumed the body, when he started growing, every situation Prahlada faced, he had a solution which he received from Narada. He had a solution which he received from Narada in the womb. And beautifully he was able to navigate his life and win the whole thing. Understand, you need to really understand. Knowledge about the cosmos is not necessarily demands your faith or belief. It only demands your integrated listening. For example, I am telling you, when you leave the body, the space where the life is happening to you, what we call Jiva, Chit, that will start moving, getting pulled, gravitated based on the kind of the vibration and thought current you cherish about the future. Understand, this is a very important statement I am making. It is not about how you lived the past. It is about how you want your future. That is too important information, fact you need to know. For example, you lived 90 years and all the 90 years you did everything dirty, stupid. Suddenly, fortunately, just before the leaving the body, something clicks in you and you decide absolutely bright, right, pure, liberated future. And after you decided to live that liberated future, for some reason you did not continue to live for many days with the body, but you left the body. What you planned for your future, that will be the force gravitating you towards it. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Your taste for your future is the gravitating force to which you will reach. For example, throughout the 90 years of the life, you lived a